Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Yes, indeed. Happy Tuesday. Already got a few folks over there in the chat this morning, and from what I can gather, it is cold pretty much everywhere. PG Custom Woodwork says, good morning from snow-covered Fort Wayne, Indiana. How you doing, Paul? Said it's a cold one here today. Larry Galt, how you doing this morning, Larry? 26 degrees, just ain't right. Yeah, we're still, right now, I think we're in the 40s. We started out, I think, around mid 50s. We've got rain moving through. It's mostly past me. It's just kind of drizzly out there now, but it's getting colder and colder as that cold front pushes down. And it's supposed to be a freeze warning tonight in Georgia in November. So, what are you going to do? Paul says 19 here. No, it's not right. Larry's in Austin, Texas. Steve says, good morning. Missed yesterday, 24 degrees in Oklahoma today. That's pretty nippy. That's pretty nippy. Yeah, I think you're right, Paul. I think the cold is settling in, looks like. Let's see, we got Hitch. He says it's 8 degrees in Danville. Holy cow. But I'm not there today. Ernest says, good morning from North Carolina. How you doing this morning, Ernest? Mr. Ballard is in the house this morning. How you doing, Ryan? What's the temperature up there in Maryland? Imagine it's pretty nippy up there, too. Troy says, good morning, everybody. 16 in Michigan. Man, oh man. That's thanks for asking, Paul. I'm doing well. Can't complain. I found it doesn't do any good anyway, so I just don't bother doing it. Whatever the weather is, I'm still happy to wake up every morning. So, it's going to be a good day. Jeff Nearcorn says, good morning, everybody. Cold and snow in Southwest Virginia, 27 degrees. Yeah, looks like it's just freaking cold everywhere. Good morning to you, Clyde. Clyde Levani in the house this morning. He says he got snow, 5 or 6 inches. You can keep it. I don't want any part of snow. Michael Pinkerton's mad because he can't wear his flip-flops today. You can. It's just your feet will be cold. Too cold to be on a roof. Yeah, I imagine so. All right. Good morning, sir. How you doing? Janet Moore's in the house with us this morning, watching over on the Facebook. Thank you, Janet, for joining us this morning. Hope you got your coffee ready. Let's see. Earl says morning and snow in Ohio, 28 degrees. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing a theme here. It's cold. pretty much everybody that's reporting in is saying it's deadgum cold. Here's Jerry Brown says it's a little chilly, but I like 27 from the house at 75. Yeah. Anytime it gets below freezing, that's really cold to me because I'm old. My blood's not as thick as it used to be, so I get cold easier. But I'd rather have 20s than I would teens. So I'll take whatever we can get. Let's see. David Torres says, good morning from Apopka, Florida, 64 degrees here. And then, of course, Hitch has to rub it in at 74 degrees in sunny Southwest Florida. Yeah. I'm not going to try to pronounce this name here, but it says it's 1600. I guess that would be 4 o'clock. Enjoying the sun in Pretoria, South Africa. Welcome to the coffee sessions. It says, what happened to global warming? I think that's why they started calling it climate change instead of global warming, because the global warming thing didn't work when it started getting cold everywhere. So, do you have thinner blood and thicker skin? Yeah, my skin's got pretty thick over the years. I don't get offended or upset as easily as I used to. Janet says she's been up feeding the wood stove since 4 a.m. Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you all for joining us. We got a good crowd here today. Anybody got anything on their mind they want to discuss or gripe about, or, all that? We have an open forum here on the coffee sessions. Any topic goes. Well, most any topic. We'll try to stay away from politics, just because who wants to talk about that? I saw in the news former President Jimmy Carter. I don't know exactly how old he is. He's 90 something. He's way up there. But he's having brain surgery today, so I hope all that goes well. Let's see. Jeremiah says, now that I'm working in at 27 with wind chill is no fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing to be cold, a certain thing, but when the wind's blowing, that's just really bad when the wind's blowing. You get that wind chill. And that's what I think we're going to end up having here. Although the wind has died down, it was blowing pretty good when we were getting the rain, but I think it's just about passed through. I haven't checked the radar lately, but they said from the looks of what I saw on my little phone app, my Fox 5 weather phone app, they said, when I hit the play and it shows it moving across about 10 o'clock, looks like it's going to clear off, which is perfect because I have to run to the UPS store here in a little bit. And there's nothing worse than trying to go to the UPS store, when I've got cardboard boxes to ship and it's raining. Because, you get them wet and then they weigh more when they put them on the scale. So I try to keep them dry. So be going over there. Jeff Dearcorn says, just want to give a big shout out to everyone who has cancer or survived cancer. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I lost my older sister to cancer a few years back. So, Larry Galt says he's an 11-year survivor here. Excellent. Janice got an interesting fact here. She says Indiana has broken 300-year-old records because of this Arctic Express. I think I said that wrong. It's not 300-year-old record. It's 3 100-year-old records. Because as soon as I read that, I'm thinking that can't be true because I didn't even know how to take records 300 years ago. My bad. I read it wrong. Let's see. What, I love my Fox 5 weather app. especially in inclement weather or stormy weather or whatever. What is your favorite app on your phone? Not your most used app, because that's probably Facebook. Uh, but what's your favorite app that you have on your phone? I don't have a whole lot of stuff on mine. I don't think. Maybe there is, and I just don't use it. But of course, the text message thing, I use that quite a bit. I have a guitar tuner app on here that I can use to tune guitars. And then, like I said, there's my Fox 5 weather app. I bought a fancy scale the other day. Well, I say the other day, it's been a couple of months now. And it doesn't even look like a bathroom scale, the old kind. I mean, it's all digital and it's got batteries in it and it's Bluetooth. And so there's an app you put on your phone. And as long as you have your Bluetooth turned on, when you step on the scale, it automatically records all that information and sends it to your phone, and you can print it out or whatever. I mean, it tells you all kinds of stuff. Basically, it just told me I'm fat and overweight. And I already knew that, so it wasn't a big surprise there. But I mean, it has your weight right down to the, 1-digit thing. But my scale's the batteries died on it, so I'm going to get some more batteries. But yeah, that app's on here. YouTube app I use quite a bit. My Guardzilla. I have a Guardzilla app, and if you don't know what Guardzilla is, Guardzilla is it's a really cheap. It's really a security camera. You just plug it in. It works on Wi-Fi. And then you can open up this app. And in fact, I'll do it right here. Let's see if I can get it to work. And show it to y'all. Come on. Oh, somebody's bumped the camera because it's all every which way. Yeah, I must have bumped the camera or something. Come on, phone. There we go. Anyway, I keep mine out in my garage. I know you can't see that pretty good, but I also have that app on my tablet. So when I'm running my machine out there and I don't want to stand out there and watch it, which is pretty much all the time, I point that little camera at my machine and I turn my app on my tablet, prop my tablet up where I can see it from my recliner, and I can sit there and watch TV or whatever while my machine cranks out parts. So works out quite nice. So that's an app I use a lot. Let's see what folks are saying over here. Troy says he uses the off button. Yeah, that's a good one. Google Maps, yeah, that's really handy. Let's see. Janet says she's never had a cell phone. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. It says radar app is my radar. Yeah. Mine's with the Fox 5 news thing. They have all those news stations have their own weather apps and stuff. He says, favorite app is Minion Rush. It is an endless runner game with characters from Despicable Me. Okay. Dropbox is a favorite app. Yeah, that's. Ryan says, when I get on the scale, it laughs. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what this one says. Starting a venture in my life, wanting to make things to sell with wood. Did rough carpentry a couple of times in my life, but never anything like the CNC world. Ordered a CNC machine. Well, good for you, David. You'll like it. CNC stuff's pretty cool. Thermostat app. I can turn the heat on without getting up. I don't have that fancy of a thermostat, so. Greg says Amazon. Yeah, I don't need an Amazon app on my phone. Good Lord, I spend enough money with them without having an app. I just come in here and click, 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 and in fact, I'm going to get on here in a minute and order a couple of things that I've thought about this morning. So, David says, any pointers to lessen my mistakes starting out? Yeah, watch the CNC with Dave show on Saturdays on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Robert Avery's in the house. Good morning, Robert. Use an app called Life 360. Okay. Janet says, seems like people expect you to always be available when they know you have a cell phone. Not for me. Yeah, I get that, Janet, but you know what? Having the little business that I do, I can be sitting in my chair, relaxing, trying to watch a football game or something, and if I have my phone there, and maybe I'm watching the game, but I'm also sitting here scrolling through Facebook stuff or whatever, just trying to take it easy, and people will see that they can tell that you're online on Facebook. They can tell because that little thing is blue or whatever color it is. And they're like, oh, well, I got to ask Dave a question. So it don't matter what time it is or whatever. And it's bing, and you have to just decide, well, am I gonna answer it? Am I gonna look and see what they want? Or am I just gonna wait? And a lot of times you just have to decide, yeah, you may be available, 24/7 and all that, but you still have to, make choices about whether you're going to take the call or the text or the Facebook message or whatever it might be. And, and a lot of times people forget that I'm over here on the East Coast and they're out in California or somewhere. So it may only be, 10 o'clock at night to them, but it's 1 a.m. to me. So cell phones can be really great, and then they can also be a real pain in the butt. But that's the way it goes. But I'm just surprised that people don't have a cell phone because they're really nice. And I will say one thing: I'm probably the last person on earth that if I'm in my truck or my car or whatever, and I have my cell phone sitting on the seat right beside me, and it dings or it rings or doesn't matter what it does, I don't even look at it. Like I said, I'm probably the only person left on earth that doesn't try to answer a cell phone when they're in their car. I've never done that, even before they passed the law here in Georgia, where you got to be hands free and all that stuff. I never bothered to answer. I'll wait until I get stopped. When I get ready to get out of the truck, I'll look, and if it's something I need to answer right away, I will. And if it's not, I'll wait till I get home or whatever. The phone call is just not not that important to take a chance while you're driving or something like that. But on the other hand, they're really nice to have because if you're out on the road and, I know the weather's really crappy up there in Indiana now, the roads are slick. You drive into the store or something and you slide off the road in the ditch, you don't even have to get out of the car. You can pick your phone up, call a tow truck, whatever. So they can be really, really handy for that kind of thing. Let's see. Janet says, I have a house phone and an answering machine. Yeah, good. I did away with my landline, I guess they call them, several years ago. And I mean, it's probably been almost 10 years ago, but it had got to the point where nobody calls me anyway, pretty much. I mean, a few people do, but I don't get many phone calls, just, to talk. But now I forgot what I was going to say. Senior moment. Oh, well, it'll come back to me here in a minute. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the landline. But I got rid of mine about 10 years ago because I found that, the only people that called me, and I had an answering machine set up with mine too. The only people that called were telemarketers. So it's like it got to the point where I'd be sitting down eating dinner or whatever, I was watching TV or whatever, and that phone would ring, and it's just like, nah. And I never would get up and answer it. And I thought, well, why am I paying to have something hanging on my wall that's just going to annoy me? I mean, I wasn't paying much. It was like the basic line, which still probably, I don't remember what it was, $30 or something. So I finally just thought, yeah, nobody ever calls on that phone that I want to talk to. So, I might as well just have it taken out. So I had that turned off and strictly just the cell phone now, which sometimes I wish I still had a regular phone. Because if anything ever happened and I needed to call 911, I probably wouldn't be able to. By the time I figured, got to get the phone turned on and find the phone app button and, hit that, it'd probably be all over with. So, plus, knowing me, my battery would be about dead anyway. So, oh well. Let's see. We've got some comments over here. It says, Janet, if you have Infinity Internet service, you get 6 cell phone lines included for free. You only pay for data. Cut the landline. Yeah. Jerry says, I had to turn off all notifications. I had people all over the world trying to talk to me and hang out and message when I was doing YouTube videos and Hangouts. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've never been as involved in the Hangout things. I'm just not I never was really a Google Hangout kind of guy. I mean, if you, Jerry, called me and said, hey, let's hang out or something, that'd be cool. Or, I do the same thing with Javi quite a bit. I talk to him pretty much every day. Not in a Hangout, but we use the StreamYard thing now. But back, when people would invite you to hang out and you go and there'd be, 8, 10 people in there and I'm just not that type person. I don't want to listen to a bunch of BS and I just don't do an invite or accept an invite with those kind of things. And the other thing is I hate when I get included on a Facebook Messenger thing. What do they call it? The group chat or whatever. Oh man, as soon as I get one of those, I immediately opt out or figure out how to turn that stuff off, because I hate that. If you want to talk to me, fine, message me, but don't include 14 other people or whatever. I don't want to hear all that mess. Janet says, good for you, Dave. Way too many people talking driving. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. If I had to guess um, or predict how I'm going to die, I'd probably say the chances of me getting hit head on by some idiot on a cell phone are pretty good. Um, you know, that's probably going to be how I go. Hopefully not today, running to the UPS store. but this little road right over here that I go on all the time, you'd be surprised how many times I've looked up and there's a car crossing the lane, starting to head right at me, and I'm like, okay, there's no ditch over here. There's no place for me to go. So you just kind of, grab the wheel and brace yourself and hope they look up in time. And so far they have, I'll blow the horn sometimes at them. But yeah, it's bad. People are idiots. Let's see here. Trying to see what Ryan says. Sound on my phone goes off when I'm going to bed unless my wife is away. Then I keep it on just in case. Yeah, sometimes you have to keep it on, if you got something going on. Real Walker says, I have had the same number 13 years. Not like a lot of people every several months. Yeah. I don't know if people do that so much anymore. When they started that thing where you could change and keep your same number, I've had my same number for, I don't even remember how long. It's probably been at least 15 years or longer, long enough for all the telemarketers to find it. Ryan says, Dave, you just yelled to the Vixen Alexa to call 911. Yeah, I know there's, I started, in fact, I might have it on here. I think I started to put an Alexa app on here, but I don't think I ever set it up. Because I got to thinking about that sometime. If something happened to me where I was incapacitated and couldn't pick up the phone or find my phone or something like that, and I don't know. I thought I had it on here. It's probably buried in there in that way, one of them back pages somewhere. But yeah, I probably should get that set up. Robert Avery says, I have Verizon service and they are getting out of control on their cost. Yeah, they all are. Good morning, Frankie. How you doing this morning? Last week, I seen a guy looking at his phone in a roundabout. I tell you what, don't get me started on roundabouts. I hate those things. That has got to be the stupidest thing anybody's ever come up with as far as traffic stuff. I mean, we have right down the road here, there's a kind of an intersection. The main road goes and kind of turns to the left. And there's also a different road that goes straight. And then there's another road that comes in off the right. And, they had, of course, the one road, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, the two roads that met that road and it meets right at a curve, they had stop signs. And then, the main road, didn't have a stop sign because it's part of the main thing and you just turn left. But people could not figure, you go and if you put on a turn signal, they'd pull right out in front of you. So they can't even figure out, and the same thing with four-way stops. They can't even figure out how to work four-way stop. Nobody knows how to do that anymore. So I guess they figured the big solution is to put roundups. And now you get, oh, I hate those things. It says, my Alexa is listening to you, Dave. Okay. I was going to say something. I tell her to play a song, but I would say it, except I'm afraid mine would start playing it too. So Aren't roundabouts European? I think so. I think they're the ones that started that mess. And then somebody traveled over there and then came back and go, hey, I got a great idea. Let's do roundabouts. But I hate those things. They're the dumbest things I've ever seen. And people are idiots because I know, they have that yield sign up there, but they don't know what that means. Yeah, Dave's got it right. He says common sense is out the door anymore. No one has any. That's right. I mean, that's the problem. People are stupid. I mean, there's no other way. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And I won't. I'm not politically correct. People are stupid. So Hitch Alexa says, "Sorry, I don't know that." Yeah. Well, I was going to tell her to play Crazy Train or something, and but I was afraid to say it because mine's so good at hearing me that I didn't want mine to start playing it. But I probably missed some comments today because I've been yakking. Ernest says, I keep mine for that specific reason, a telemarketer filter. They call that number and I never worry about them calling my mobile. Yeah, I think if I was to go back and put a landline in, it wouldn't matter because I get calls every stinking day on my phone. That like we talked about it the other day, that do not call list is a joke. And by the way, I mentioned that app. That's a good app to have, that Hiya app. That's probably not my most used app as far as me using it, but the phone uses it all the time. Because like I said, I probably get 10 or 15 calls a day. And if it rings for just a second and then stops, I know that that's Hiya kicking in going, oh yeah, that's a telemarketer or a spammer or whatever. So I don't know if any of y'all got that app, but it's a great little app to put on your phone. All right. Well, my little timer went off a minute ago. So you know what that means. It's time to bid you all farewell. So thank y'all so much. We've had a great crowd over here this morning. I really look forward to coming on here and drinking my coffee and chatting with y'all. It's a whole lot more fun than doing the silly, watching the silly news and listening to folks bicker at one another and all that. So anyway, thank y'all. Y'all get out there and have a great Tuesday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning on Hump Day. Have a good one, everybody. Good morning.